Well, there it is. Let's do some Warfree Arena, and wow, that looks really weird. Okay, hi guys. This is widescreen mode. What's up with that? It looks well bizarre. Normally I stretch it to widescreen, but this is actually official widescreen that you're looking at right now on Warfree Arena, which they recently made an update to the system and made it so that players can choose between 4:3 or widescreen, true widescreen. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to see if I can create a custom game and just play first as a bot rather than go straight into a melee game where I can't necessarily concentrate on showing it off so well. So this will affect any game that you decide to play on. So let's just pick Lost Temple, for example. Hi. Private. Oh, it doesn't matter, does it? It don't matter. All we need is just a quick game versus some bots. Don't make no difference. And you're going to see it right away. That's the first time I've seen it in true widescreen. It did look very weird. That's kind of off-putting. It's actually somewhat zoomed out a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean quite a lot. Just this is the first time I'm seeing it, so I guess you're getting my raw first impressions of it more than anything else. This definitely feels like I've got more field of vision currently. Like I'm almost leaning back just that little bit more and looking down on the battle scene. This is really weird. I guess it's a good thing, and it will definitely take a little bit of getting used to, but one of the tricky things for me is that I hop in between Warfree Arena and Battle.net, although I spend a lot more of my time on Battle.net. So does this mean that Battle.net might potentially be getting this feature at some point in the future? I mean, if Warfree Arena can do it, then surely Blizzard should be able to do it. You would think so, right? They did say they were going to do updates, and perhaps the widescreen option should be one of them. I mean, what better way to sort of like, you know... Oi, get on that, get on that, get on that. What better way to sort of bring people back by modernizing the game just that little bit more? It is an old game, but you can always bring it up to today's standards as best as possible. It still looks crisp and sharp to me. In fact, if anything, it looks sharper now because you're not quite so zoomed in on the models, giving away some of their less than beautiful details if you really zoom in a lot. I use a program called Warfree Arena, not Warfree Arena, Warfree Viewer, which allows me to look at the models up close. That's how I create a lot of my thumbnails and such. So you kind of, if you look at the Priestess of the Moon model, you see some pretty rough stuff. So let's go and see what the creeps are like, I guess. So I might go for an expansion here. I'm not necessarily going to play this whole game out. We're just going to do a little bit of standard Warcraft free play and see how it feels, how the abilities work, the water elemental looks. Now everything's going to be just a little bit more different. Cool, that really is zoomed in. Look at that angle there because of the ramp. That is quite weird indeed. I mean, I guess you're saying the same thing to yourself, and you're seeing exactly the same thing I'm seeing, and you're going, wow, what the hell is going on with this? It is literally zoomed out. I know that there were people that had higher resolution monitors, I believe, or had some sort of hack. It's one of the more gentle hacks where they could change the way that Warcraft 3 displayed itself, and therefore zoom much further back than you should be able to in a normal melee game. And this is basically that for the most part, from what I can tell. This doesn't take any time to download if you've already got Warfree Arena. It's not like a big patch or anything like that. It's almost instantaneous. So it makes me wonder how much effort this would really require on Blizzard's part to really go ahead and make this a thing, because I think this is a really good thing. I mean, there's a lot of people that love to play, but they don't necessarily... They're not able to necessarily tell exactly what the hell is going on in the game all the time. Whereas with this, it makes it a lot more clear for micro purposes. Now don't get me wrong, being zoomed in obviously helps a lot. This is currently what it looks like to zoom in widescreen mode. You're still a lot further back than you would normally be. I guess this will be helpful in those large battle scenes in 4 versus 4 random team in particular, where you have these huge battles where people potentially have like 100 food each. So obviously with 8 people playing, you can have up to 800 food, unless there's paladins that are resurrected, and then you can have even more. But it's definitely good, is my initial first impression here. I'm impressed with this. I think it's good, and this is the first time I'm playing it, so I'm sure the more that I play it, the more I'm going to get used to it. I must admit, it does feel somewhat uncomfortable, but then I am one of these people that are very set in their old habits, and they don't take too well to change and stuff. But this is probably a change for the better. I think we could probably safely agree. It does look pretty good overall, I've got to admit. It's just sharper, it's just more clear, you can see so much better. And if you look at like militia, for example, you know, or peasants, they're like the smallest units in the game practically, aside from wisps. And if you can see these clearly enough and distinguish one amongst another, there's 5 there, you can quite clearly see that, you should be able to really tell any other units that are going to be in this game. So overall, this looks very promising indeed, and we're going to have to see what Blizzard are going to do, really, in regards to this. Are they going to respond in kind? Are they going to take 7 months before they get round to patching, which is probably getting bloody well close to be fair with you, since the last time they actually did anything impressive. And I say impressive, probably broke the game for a lot of people. I was one of these people that never had problems, and I was very lucky in that sense, but I've heard from so many people that have had problems since the last patch that Blizzard did, which makes me almost wonder if that was something that put them off from actually deciding to make any further changes. They were like, you know what, we're not too happy with the fact that everyone's complaining about this new patch that we did, so we're just going to chill a little bit and take our our time a bit more before we do anything else. And they've definitely taken their time. I guess, I mean, I'm someone with not the best eyesight, so this does make it a little bit more challenging for me as well. Don't get me wrong, I can see the whole screen and everything. It's not exactly a huge problem. But it does make me, oh, hang on a second. We might as well go and attack a computer now, just to sort of show this off a little bit more. Let's hope he doesn't have mass air. Let's go attack the computer on the right-hand side. Still getting footmen. I mean, I was just building generally speaking. I'm not going to be playing this game out completely. And look at all those claws of attack. So it looks like the interface is the same, or at least it might be tricking me into that. I don't truly know. It would be interesting if I could pull up a photo or something like that. I might have to do that in my own spare time, of one of my videos where I've played in the old normal stretched out 4x3 version, and then Photoshop that and compare it to this, and then see how we get on. Oh, that's going to be way too many militia. I'm not too happy about that. Oh, you cheeky devil. What a flame strike. Pro computer easy. And now he's stealing my mana. I don't think so. That is a large army. But I think I've got more. So you can see so much more of the battlefield, but it does admittedly make it a little bit more... It's more intense in your eyes, trying to pick up these little details like this footman here being injured compared to the rest. The health bars are still very clear overall, but you've got to be a little bit more accurate, I suppose, when it comes to clicking as opposed to beforehand, because everything is just that little bit smaller, so you've got to be that little bit more precise if you want to make sure that you target the right unit and pull it back, because otherwise you're going to have these missed micro attempts where you've essentially wasted your time. Oh, look at that, 3,000 gold, 4 versus 4 random team noob. Yep, let's bring in the rest of the militia, and that should probably do it. No one's going to help this guy because he should be on his own. Wow, it's just, it's kind of weird. It is, but it's like a trick to the eyes because it looks the same, but it doesn't, and it's just toying with me quite a lot. If you guys want to try it out, then hop onto War Free Arena, which is free as long as you've got Warcraft free. I know everyone loves me saying that word. Yeah, you just download the War Free Arena client and then you need patch 1.26 to install it. If you check either of my two videos where I taught you how to switch from patch 1.27 back to 1.26 using either the WFS switcher or the replay kit, I have two videos, so I guess I'll put those in the video description, where I taught how to do that, basically. So if you were interested in trying Warframe Arena out, then you can do so via those methods. And all you need to do is roll back to patch 1.26 and then you can play on Warframe Arena, because they still haven't found a way to update it to 1.27. But what is weird is that they found a way to update full screen. So it wasn't dependent on any of Blizzard's patches, quite clearly, because Blizzard have never put full screen, true widescreen, wide full screen in, aside from a stretched version. Have I got level 6? How awesome is that? Why don't we do something fancy here, just for lols, as I'm coming towards the end of this video. Mass militia all over again. Of course! Of course that many never made it! Oh, it's happening all over again. Well, it's just as well this isn't versus any players. Alrighty, guys. Just wanted to quickly show this off as I came across it. This is literally my first impressions. First time I've really seen it. Aside from that one game that I just played where my opponent left for some reason. Probably saw the... he probably saw the widescreen and was like, nope, not interested in this. This is different. I don't like change. So, yeah. It's weird. It is... I guess you're going to be saying that a lot yourself if you're playing it. It's just one of those words. You're just going to say it's weird. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just weird, you know? Right then, take care, and I'll see you later.